What's up, Cancer? This is Jesse with 44 Astro with the general tarot reading for the full moon that will be coming in Pisces. It will be on the 30th through the 31st. It will be conjunct Saturn. The conjunction will begin in Aquarius and then make its way into Pisces until the moon is at its fullest. Will be at 7 degrees Pisces. 7 degrees 43 seconds, I think. There is an opposition with Saturn and the Sun, and when that conjunction is happening, it will be opposite the Sun. That opposition has been going on for a little while. It started in Leo and has moved into Virgo. So with this alignment, there will be a lot of unconscious things coming to the surface. There will be a lot of maybe ailments, like sicknesses that come to light that will be able to be healed because the Sun will bring it to light. The moon can also represent the mother. So you may find that there is an illness with your mother, and then it gets brought to light so that it can be healed. Also, the mansion of the moon it will be in is the 27th mansion of the moon. It is called Alfar Galtani. It is, I will put a little picture here so you can read about it. And it is a good mansion for healing. It's a good mansion for making money, but it's not a good mansion for starting something new. Oh, that definitely wanted to be like that. And you can read about it when I put up the picture. Also, this will be a blue moon and a super moon. A blue moon means it's a second full moon in a calendar month, which like the saying once in a blue moon, so it's kind of rare. I think once every 2.7 years. And then a super moon means it's 14% bigger in the sky because it is in perigee, because it has an elliptical orbit around the Earth. So at certain points in it, it will be closer to the Earth. And when it's as close as it can get, it's a super full moon, and it will be in perigee is what that is called. Also, Saturn in that conjunction in his orbit is elliptical as well. You got this on the bottom. He will be as close to the Earth as he gets, so we will really feel this energy. This is a powerful alignment because it's in Pisces. It could be very dreamy energy. You may be having very vivid dreams. It could be very vivid bad dreams. It's a good time to bring unconscious things to light and learn about them with the Sun opposite Saturn. Saturn in astrology is Satan, so he's a very malefic planet. Satan, Saturn, and in all religions, the devil is based off of that. All religions are based off astrology, regardless of what you want to believe. And the Sun, of course, is the microcosm of God, the Son of God, or Christ, or the light, whatever you want to, the light bringer, whatever you want. Well, Lucifer is technically the morning star, which would be Venus, but the Sun is the bringer of the light, if you catch my drift. Also, if you want to kind of mitigate some of this energy. So in the yogic traditions, they have something called Ekadashi. And essentially, they say in a 40 to 48 day cycle of the human digestive system, and make no mistake, human cycles are tied in with the cycles of the moon and the solar system. On average, a woman has a 28-day cycle. The cycle of the moon is 28 days. That's just one example. The tides work with the moon as well. So Ekadashi is saying once within that 48 to 48 day cycle, if an individual is very aligned, like a yogi, like a true yogi, they'll be aligned with this, the movements of the universe. So they'll know what day they're supposed to fast. But for us average individuals that don't know exactly when that day is in our system, in the Hindu traditions or in the yogic traditions in India, they practice Ekadashi all the time, which is on full moons and new moons to fast 3 days before and the day of the full moon or the new moon. That gives you a good shot of hitting that one day of Ekadashi to where your system needs to fast and your digestive system needs a break so that it can reset itself. It's essentially, just fasting, like even intermittent fasting is good for you. If you can't fast, I suggest like juicing or eating really light vegetables and things like that, or just like a light dinner at the end of the evening. Also, because Saturn is involved and he's a very malefic planet, if you give up something on your own, maybe he won't be as inclined to take something from you because he can do that. And Saturn represents boundaries. Saturn's rings are boundaries. So our boundaries are going to be tested. Our beliefs are going to be tested. Our inner world and our outer world. The moon is the inner world. The Sun is our mission in life, our outer world. So our resolve is going to be tested in the things that we believe and what we want to do. And it's probably going to be situations in our outer life that test it for us, whether we like it or not. But it'll only last for probably a few days, at least the strong feelings of it. A couple of days before when the conjunction starts, and a couple of days after when the conjunction is going away. The opposition will still be there for a little while, so it'll be probably a few more days of that. But, it's not that hard. Oppositions aren't too hard. They're something that can be balanced out. But anyway, on to the reading. Let me get you a moon card here for this full moon reading for Cancer. Oh, that was it right there. Have faith in your dreams. All right, Cancer, have faith in your dreams. That's a good card. All right, current situation or question. I'm doing my thought spread, and I will clarify with the thought deck. You have the Seven of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the Eight of Rods. It's like you're wondering if someone's talking behind your back or if there's something being said behind your back. It's like some kind of message maybe, or it could be with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Something with a message that they're telling you, most likely, and you're wondering if they're full of crap or not. It could be what it is, or if whatever messages you're receiving right now, you're wondering if it's truth or if it's lies or deception, or it's a question about how you should communicate and how to be strategic, maybe even the way you think, and then the way you think and then communicate. The current path you're on has the Ace of Cups, so it's something to do with your relationships, new relationships specifically. So it could be a new relationship. You're wondering if someone's lying to you, someone that you've been introduced to, somebody you might really like. You have the Page of Rods here, and then you have the Eight of Swords. So yeah, you're really wondering. It looks like you're really wondering about if the truth is being told to you in some way. This could also be a message of passion, but it also could be a child. It could be a message about a child, like a fire sign child, something like that. It could be that you're really emotionally and passionately tied up with this individual, but you don't feel like necessarily that they're telling you the truth about something. And you feel like you're in the dark about it. And that's definitely possible. That's what the cards are kind of screaming. That's the path that you're on. And it could just be that it's a new person that you met and you're kind of in the dark on who they are. You feel like maybe they're being kind of mysterious. Could be a Scorpio, because on this path, you have the Scorpio card, Death card. You have the King of Swords, and then you have the Two of Pentacles. So on this path, some Cancers may be on this path, some Cancers may be on this path. You have transformation. Could be a physical death. Could be the physical death of like a grandpa or a father, because you have the King of Swords there. That could be an elderly figure, but it really could be a transformation in the way you think, or what you think the truth is, a transformation in how you see the truth. And it looks like you may be juggling maybe many ideas about the truth of this individual. Maybe it's the death of a relationship because you don't feel like. Maybe the truth comes to light on this path. Maybe on this path you're in the dark. In this path, there's a transformation because the truth comes to light. And then you're kind of worried about that because maybe you're financially tied up with that individual. That's my dog running around. Go lay down, Jenkins. So maybe you feel like money could be, you have to kind of juggle it around because it's some kind of big shift happening. It could be something to do with the way you make money. It could be at work. Maybe you feel like you're being lied to at work or about something at work. I don't know what kind of work you do. We'll get some clarifiers. The advice has the Hierophant in it. So, it could be work for a big company. It could be just traditions in and of itself. You have the Knight of Rods, then you have the Five of Rods. So it's like if you have traditional values, stick with them. Stick with your traditional values. If you're passionate about traditional values, whatever that may be, whether it be moral, dogmatic, economic, sociological, whatever your axioms are, and axioms just means your firm beliefs, like that you believe is for sure the truth. And even if that is more of like a traditional stance, whatever that may be, and that's what you're passionate about, that may cause some arguments, but you need to stand your ground on this. That's what it looks like it may be. Or it could be the other way, that you're against the traditional. Like you're sick of whatever the traditional perspective is, and you're like, yo, I'm riding into that to break that down, and it's probably going to cause some trouble. And this could be a social media thing, right? Because this is big energy. So it could be social media, and it could be there's a lot of passions being expressed on social media. It could have something to do with if this individual that maybe you think's lying to you, it could be a fire sign, and maybe you're married to them, or were married to them, and you're fighting. and you don't feel like they're telling you the truth. So it's saying advice, stand your ground. But it looks like, and if it's at work, it could be a big company. And it's saying, stand your ground, ride forward passionately, stick with what you believe, even if it causes this. And we'll get some clarifiers on that. The outcome looks like you're batting down the hatches, like you're ready to fight, right? Because that's the 7 of rods, which is, getting ready for battle, having the high ground. So whatever the situation is, you're worried about it with the 9 of swords there, but this is the wheels turning. It has to happen. And you're going to stand your ground, and it's looking like you're right about the situation. You're on the high ground. So whatever it is your beliefs are in this situation, and it's saying have faith in your dreams. So it could be actual dreams, because like I said, with the conjunction happening in Pisces, it's very dreamy, unconscious energy, and then it being brought to light, this opposition with the sun, and then Saturn's going to test them, and he's going to make you have to have practical plans to do it. So whatever your dreams are, if it is something that you're trying to create, like maybe a business or something in some way, or a relationship, you have to have faith in what you believe. And I think it's more like whatever your suspicions are in the situation, or whatever your stance is correct, and you need to trust your intuition. And for Cancers, that should be no problem. Very intuitive sign, very psychic sign. They know what's up. They almost will always know before even speaking to an individual. That card kind of wants to come out, but I don't want to take that one by itself. We have to clarify a lot of things here because we're trying to get a bead on the situation. It's fated, whatever it is. It has to occur. So if there's some kind of like arguments, or there's some kind of stance on either side, there's some kind of line being drawn in the sand, it's saying hold your ground. It could be with an air sign, and it could definitely be with a fire sign, because those are the 2 signs I see here, and it could be a combination thereof. And it could be that you're cusp Leo. You could also be cusp Gemini. So it could be air and fire, right? And you could have air and fire in your chart, even being a water sign. I do. I'm a water sign, but I have a lot of fire and air. Note right there. Okay, it looks like it could be a love relationship for sure. Looks like it may be a love relationship. Could be that you're trying to be strategic in this relationship, and it definitely could be with a fire sign. It's something you're very passionate about and that you love. It's someone or something that you're creating that you're very passionate about and that you love. And you have a lot tied up into it, and you're wanting abundance out of it. And like, this is on the question. It's like, again, the question goes back to, in this situation, it could be with a spouse. And you could have, if it's a spouse, then you're going to probably have money tied up with them as well. And you're wondering about a communication about that, whether it's like whether I should stay, whether I should go, and it could be either sided. If you're single, it could be that you're trying to get into the relationship, and you're curious whether you should invest both emotionally and fiscally. So, and you'd be looking for some kind of message about that. And like I said, it could be a proposal of marriage as well. That could be what it is that you're wanting to, or that has been, maybe you've been proposed to and you're mulling it over. Or maybe you're going to propose to someone, or vice versa. Or you're even wondering about taking the relationship to the next level. And it could be the other way. It could be like maybe you're debating on whether you want to end the relationship. And it seems to be a question about that. It seems to be communication in some way in your relationship. And it could be a communication in your relationship about your dreams. Like what you want, like something you're wanting to do, or you wanting to create, or you wanting to invest in. And your spouse is like, no, I don't think you should do that. But it's your dreams, and that's what you want to do. And it's saying have faith in your dreams. Yeah, something you're trying to create. Yeah, okay. You may be trying to create wealth. So it could be definitely something, and it could be just loved ones, like family members and things. Maybe you have a large family with the Hierophant here, and you're trying to create something of value because you got the Magus here, which is, the Magician. Then you have the 10 of Pentacles, which in this deck is called wealth. And then you have the Emperor. The Emperor could be your spouse in this situation, right? But I think it's saying you need to be this if you want to accomplish what you're trying to do, right? If you're trying to create a bunch of wealth, you're gonna have to be in control. You're gonna have to take that heavy, hard stance. You're gonna have to be like, look, this is what I want to do, and I'm gonna do it. And if you love me and you want to be with me, or if you want to support me, then support me. Otherwise, do you really love me? Do you really want to support me? Whether it be just people around you, like family, or whether it be like a spouse. And it could be causing some real drama, and it could be giving you a real headache. But, I mean, saying have faith in your dreams. But I'll say this. If you're going to start a new project, like it's a new project, don't start it during this full moon. Wait till after. Like I said, I would fast. At least during the full moon the day of. Or eat very lightly and eat very healthily. And then, like, it'll pass, a day or two after, a couple days after. Then you can get into it. So just, like, wait a few days before, during, and a few days after. That would be my suggestion. Do what you want, of course, because it looks like it's going to be successful either way. But I think it would just be less hiccups, like less things getting in the way. And plus, this mansion of the moon is not specifically good for starting projects. It's good for making money, but not necessarily starting projects. Like whatever existing things you're doing, all good. Yeah, the turn of fate. There's a change coming. Okay, it could definitely be with money, right? If this other path over here could be other cancers, and you have a transformation in the way you think, and it also could be the way you make money because you got the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles, which in this deck is harmonious change, right? The Two of Pentacles is called change, but if you look, it's far more harmonious, like than this card, where he's all topsy-turvy. You see? And it's even the C's behind him, like if I can get this one to focus. It's called change, and it looks far more harmonious. But you have that with, the Wheel of Fortune and the Princess of Cups. So, like, it's a transformation in the way you think, and it's probably in the way you make money, and it's fated, right? It's the wheels turning. So whatever this transformation, it could be saying that the ending of whatever this is, if it is the ending of a relationship or ending of like a business partnership to make money, it's fated and it needs to happen. And the water sign's probably you, right? Princess of Cups. Male or female. Or it could be saying, be kind in the way you deliver whatever this truth is or this transformation is, even if it's just to yourself in your inner world. Because like I said, with this alignment with Saturn conjuncting the moon, being as close as they're going to be to Earth as they can get, opposite the sun, which means the Earth is going to be sitting in between that conjunction and the sun. And we're going to be the conduits for that energy. So we're going to feel it. It doesn't necessarily have to be bad. It just depends on the lessons that we need to learn at the given time of our life. And I'll say this. So the Saturn cycle in our lives, around the age of 27 to 30, around the age, 57 to 60, 87 to 90, that type of energy, right? Roundabout, those are guesstimates. It's actually a little different than that. I think it's around 58, 27, 58, and something else. But anyway, if you're at that time in your life at those ages, and you're coming around a Saturn return, which means your Saturn was in Pisces at birth, you're going to feel this a whole lot more because it's going to be a transiting where your natal Saturn is. So if you're at those ages at life, and from the ages of most of my viewers, you could be around that 30-year mark or around that late 50s mark, then it's going to be around your natal Saturn. So you may feel this energy a little more. So be careful. I wouldn't be out and about on the full moon at that night. And I would cross my T's and dot my I's and be very vigilant. It's not that necessarily something bad will happen, but if whatever the lesson is that you need to learn in your life at that time, Saturn going to teach you. Because that's what he does. And I had a great transformation in my life around 28. And there's a lot of celebrities that die around 27, 28. There's a reason, because Saturn comes around, and he's like, learn your lessons or pay the price. And some people pay the price, and it's the ultimate price, which is death. The Saturn cycle is real, and Saturn is a very powerful planet. Jupiter cycles every 12 years, and you'll feel those too. In 12-year increments. 12, 24, 36, you'll feel those too. Jupiter's a little different. It's going to be more expansive in learning, probably an expansion in your life, learning. It also depends on the natal, where it was at in your natal chart, whether it's debilitated, what sign, all those types of things. But I'll make videos later if I ever get monetized. But anyway, back to the reading. On the advice, it's saying that you may feel chained to something. It could be tradition, because the Hierophant was there. It could be to a big company. It could be to a relationship, right? You feel chained. That's what the devil represents. Right? But in this deck, it's more of a generative principle. If you look, it looks like a phallus and testicles because it's generative. It's creating, right? It is fertile energy in a way. And then this is also creating, passionate creation, and then gain, money. So, yeah, if anything, you feel like anything's holding you back, it's saying, yo, don't be chained to it. Burst through with that energy, right? This is strong, powerful Ace of Rods, powerful energy. Burst through. Follow your passion, whatever that passion is, and it will be profitable. Like, no doubt about it. And if it's just you have to make a big change in your life, it's going to lead to some great things. It's going to lead to gain. And if it is that you're, getting with someone, it could be that, if it's like you're marrying at, like I said, a marriage thing, and it's not that you're breaking away from tradition or whatever, but it could be, and it could be both those things. Maybe it's not traditional who you're marrying for whatever reason. And maybe people are against that for whatever reason, maybe from a traditional family or traditional friends, whatever. It's saying that it's going to benefit you. So whether it's marriage or divorce, it's going to benefit you to make the transformation or the change. Let's see what this outcome is, because this outcome is saying get ready. Get ready. You have the high ground. Be ready. So whatever the naysayers are saying, you're going to have the high ground, and you're going to need to be ready for it. And it's when you're having to do that, you're of course going to feel like this. There's no doubt about it. And like I said, that's a dream card, Nine of Swords. I've been getting that card a lot, but again, Saturn's going to be touching the moon in Pisces, so it could be some really dark dreams. It could be things in our unconscious that we need to heal. The collective unconscious, Carl Jung. You want to bring those things to light if you can. This is a great time for healing. So pay attention to dreams. Write them down. Try to understand why you had the dreams. And the only one that can really, really decipher your dreams is you. But don't get me wrong, you can bounce, what your dream is off other people or read about what other people's dreams meant to them. But in the end, you need to kind of understand what it all means in your own life, because only you know the blueprint of your life. So only you'll really be able to define it, but you can always get ideas from others and bounce it off, because that's what we're all here for. We're here for each other to help each other learn. We're all mirrors. Our eyes are literally mirrors. They reflect the light. Light hits things, hits our eyes, bounces back, gives us vision, right? We're all mirrors for each other, and we all bounce information off of each other to learn, and basically to learn about ourselves, where we stand on things. Oh, that's it. Could be a three-party situation, but it seems unlikely. Yeah, it could be a three-party situation, because there's two people cards here, but they're young people cards, and the princes in this deck, because they have princes and princesses in the deck instead of pages, so it could be about kids. Maybe you have some kids. Maybe you have a water sign and an air sign child, right? And you're trying to do the right thing for them. You're trying to be virtuous for them in whatever this situation is. So if it is a divorce, you're trying to do the right thing for them. And that could be what the headache's about. But if it's not, it could just be that the way you're cognizant of your emotions, the way you internalize and think about your own emotions. You're trying to do it in a virtuous manner. And, with this kind of energy, with all this going on, with this high ground, you're trying to do that. You're like, you have the high ground. You're trying to get your message across, and you're trying to do it in a compassionate manner and articulate it in that way. But it can be very hard to do, and you're trying to be virtuous in the way that you do that. But it's probably giving you a headache. And that's not easy to do for anyone, Cancer, straight up. But anyway, that's what I have for you. I hope that resonates in some way. Please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. Either way, if you don't want to do that, I'm grateful for you being here, and I hope to see you back here. The view is good enough. I'm trying to build that sub count so we can get monetized, so I can start breaking down this astrology a lot more. And make no mistake, even if you're just into the tarot is based on astrology. Astrology was before any of all this, and it's tied in. It is tied in, no matter what. If an individual's not using astrology in their tarot readings, then they're doing themselves a disservice and you. Doesn't mean the information might not be good. It's just not going to be complete or as full as it could be, or as in depth as it could be. But anyway, that's all I have, Cancer. I'm glad you're here. Please consider liking and subscribing and commenting. Happy full moon, and I hope to see you next time.